Hey friends, Ash here. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Welcome to Gents. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out with me today. So today we're talking about blind buys. Yes, successful blind buys that were cheap. So fragrances that didn't cost me much and they worked out well. Maybe we'll do one in the future about blind buys that went horrifically poorly. But for now, let's live on the bright side of life and check these out. So each one of these I picked up from either discounters or TJ Maxx, Marshalls, Rochas, someplace like that. So discounters either online or discounters in person, basically. And guys, yes, we're talking cheap fragrances today, but guess what's not cheap? Niche fragrances at full retail. TwistedLily.com and LuckyScent.com. Use the code GENTS10, save yourself 10% off any of the stuff they got. Or use Joma shop code GENTS8, anything over $110. A shopping cart over $110, $8 off. I have links to every one of these in the description. We're gonna start off with this, Pepe Jeans London Calling. Now, all the Pepe Jeans fragrances are not that bad considering the price. They're all cheap. This is the newest of the bunch. I do like the look of the bottle. I think it's pretty nice. Some people think it's cheesy. It looks like a martini shaker, but I think it's pretty cool. I like the blue color on it. The box sucks. The box is enormous. It's a hassle, but this is cool. So this one's really fresh and sweet, like quite sweet. It smells a little bit like a Ferrari fragrance, like Ferrari Man in Red mixed together with the first Pepe Jeans, but it does it pretty well. It's a decent fragrance, very versatile. The quality is not too bad, trust me. For this price point, you will find quality that is garbage compared to this. Police fragrances, I mean, most of those are horrifically poor and they're about the same price. So yeah, this one I did get, Pepe Jeans London Calling, real nice. And I'd say anybody from younger guy up through middle age can pull that one off. Now I wanna hit you with two from the same brand. So I don't know if this counts as like one spot or two spots, I don't know. The first one is Moustache Eau de Toilette, and then good old L'Homme from Rochas. Rochas. Moustache Eau de Toilette smells a little bit like Eau Sauvage, but frankly, easier to wear nowadays. It's got the same style, so if you like that one, you should like this one, but this one's a little smoother. It's not quite as sharp, and like I said, easier to wear. It's like a modernized take on Eau Sauvage Eau de Toilette to an extent. It's really versatile. It's a great office fragrance. It's a great formal fragrance. Will appeal more to guys middle-aged and older, but it's a really nice scent for the price, because that one I think at retail or at discounters, not retailers, discounters is like 25 bucks or something. And this one is really cheap as well. L'Homme is a blue fragrance through and through. So you're looking for compliments with this, versatility, maximum ease of use, dumb reachability. It's all that. It's a little similar to Dolce & Gabbana's K, but better and for a cheaper price, and it doesn't have the stupid K bottle with the cheesy cap. This is nice. Good quality for a good price. Actually, as far as designers go, it's probably gonna be your best bet or one of your best bets for a very inexpensive blue fragrance that doesn't smell very inexpensive. Like that's solid, that's some good stuff. Clone time. Let's do a clone. We'll do Asad from Lattafa. So this one I bought from fragrancebuy.ca. I think it was around $25 US. Pretty cheap. Reason I got it is because people were saying, yo, this is a clone of Dior Sauvage Elixir. Got it in, smelled it, and I thought to myself, you know, this smells familiar. It smells like Dior Sauvage Elixir. And the quality on this is really good too for very inexpensive fragrance. I mean, the bottle is not that good. I don't really like it a whole lot. It's got like this plastic kind of thing around the bottle, but who cares? I've said it a bunch of times, even if a bottle is fugly and looks like somebody that fell off an ugly tree and hit every single branch on the way down and then got stomped into the mud by a angry rhinoceros, even if it looks like that, it doesn't really matter because nobody sees the bottle, they just smell it. So yeah, really inexpensive, different take on Dior Sauvage Elixir, real nice. Let's talk about this one. Ferrari Uomo. This one's been difficult to find for a while. Actually, a lot of Ferrari fragrances have been getting more and more difficult to find. Word on the street was that Ferrari was getting out of the fragrance business. Why do they want to do that for? It makes no sense. Ferrari getting out of the fragrance business, like what are you going to concentrate on selling then? Cars? No, nobody wants a freaking Ferrari. What? The Ferrari Uomo, it would appear to be available again at discounters for a decent price in that $30 range. One thing I always liked about Ferrari Uomo, which is something that doesn't matter at all, is that they made the atomizer Ferrari red. I always thought that was really cool. I mean, it doesn't matter, but it's red. So this guy right here, it's got a little leather to it. It's got a little bit of a petrol smell to it. Does that sound like something to you? Oh yeah, Dior Fahrenheit. It's a little bit like that. It's like Ferrari's less expensive. That's the only time you'll ever hear Ferrari's less expensive anything, but Ferrari's less expensive Dior Fahrenheit. And it's really nice. The quality here is good. I even like the little leather wrap around the cap, which has decent heft to it. It's a real nice scent. Of course, if you're not a fan of Fahrenheit or fragrances of that ilk, you may not like this, but if you do, check that out. Clone time, again, the last one I promised, the last clone. So clone time, Haramain, Detour Noir. Got this one also from Fragrance Buy. I buy a lot of clones from there because they don't cost much, and also Fragrance Buy seems to have clones more often than the other discounters that I typically use. So Detour Noir. This one I got actually at the exact same time as Detour Rouge, which I've had for a minute. Detour Noir is a clone of Layton by Parfums de Marly, which is one of my favorites, if not my favorite, actually, from Parfums de Marly. Sweet, sexy, huge compliment puller. Again, it's like a prerequisite if you have a clone fragrance house. You just make ugly bottles that everybody hates the look of. But in spite of the ugliness, Detour Noir is an awesome Layton clone. The quality here is insane when you factor in the cost in that $20 range, and the bottle looking like it looks. You would expect not much from it, and then you are surprised and even shocked, you might say. I'll just get this one out of the way because I did that whole not another clone thing. America, Perry Ellis. So it's not a clone, but it's inspired by Creed's Aventus. So it's not trying to directly emulate Creed's Aventus, but when you smell this, you go, oh yeah, they've got bits and pieces of it in there, don't they? It's surprisingly really good though. You might not expect it coming from Perry Ellis, which is a house at this point that's not really known for putting out banger fragrances. And yet a lot of people would say this is every bit as good as Montblanc's Explorer, which has gotten all kinds of love. Some people would say even better. Definitely on the fruitier side, a little sweeter. Not as much of that, that ambroxany kind of woodiness that Explorer has. America's really solid fragrance, overlooked for the price. It's a really great pickup. Okay, this next one I got from TJ Maxx, I feel like. Maybe it was Ross's. Really inexpensive. This is probably the cheapest one out of everything here today. It's Quorum Silver. Now, let's be honest. When you look at this bottle, it doesn't look expensive. You can say that for a few different ones here, but this one I think more than any other. It has that Quorum bottle style, very cheap cap. I mean, it's just a really flimsy plastic, and you know you're in for something that is very inexpensive when you take a look at the atomizer and they don't even bother to put a collar on it. When all you see is the little crimp, you know it's cheap. And this is, like I said, cheapest thing here. Now, I reviewed this back when I first got it. It was like one of my first TJ Maxx Ross's fragrance pickup videos that I ever did, which I haven't really done many of those lately. So when I reviewed this, I really honed in on the cedar, talked about it a lot, cedar, cedar, cedar. And it does have cedar in it, but it also has this fantastic ginger in the opening. It's very bright and zingy and zesty. Really, really smells good. For springtime, a great choice that costs next to nothing. Maybe younger guys wouldn't go for it as much, but middle-aged guys and older for sure would enjoy this one. And really $15 or so, which is what I paid for it. If it doesn't work out, it's not really the end of the world. Now I should only have 2 left, but I've got 3 here, so we're gonna cheat and add an extra fragrance in. Next one I wanna talk about is Starwalker from Montblanc. This one I feel like I picked up from TJ Maxx or Ross's. They had a couple in stock, and I was like, oh, awesome, I don't have that one, I'll scoop it up. And then they never really pop back up again. I'm sure that other people have had it pop up at their local stores, just at mine. I never saw it again after that, so I'm glad I got it. This one is really well known for having a bamboo note, which you don't see very often. I mean, bamboo is not really like what's happening right now. It's iris and toffee. That seems to be the cool thing right now. That's what the cool kids are wearing. Flowers and candy, bro. This one though, I really like it. It's green. It's a little aquatic feeling, very relaxing, very chill, mellow, smooth. slightly sweet. A lot of people actually wear this fragrance to bed. Like this fragrance and Gucci Pour Homme 2. Those fragrances, I think I've gotten more comments over the years from people saying, oh, I wear that fragrance to bed because it just mellows me right out. I think it's really, really nice, overlooked to the max, because from this house, it's basically Legend and Explorer, and that's pretty much it. But this right there toward the top for me. Next up, Azzaro Chrome Pure. I want to be pure. Chrome Pure gets overlooked a bit for me because the hype goes to Chrome Extreme and Chrome Aqua, more so than this one, which does actually make sense because those are maybe a little more wearable for your average person. Not that this isn't, but it is a little different compared to those. Got a nice little mate note in there, switching things up a bit. It's got a creamy sort of citrus, nice sweetness to it. Really nice change of pace fragrance for springtime or summertime. I think Chrome Pure is really, really, really good stuff. It is a fragrance that's fluctuated a bit price-wise. It was really cheap, then it got a little more expensive, and now I think it's like in between. It's not super cheap, but it's not really expensive either. I think you can get a 50 ml for like in the 35 range, something like that. All right, last but definitely not least, Varvatos Vintage. Oh, so good, so good, so good. This is my favorite from Varvatos. This is the best. Spicy, sweet, with a bunch of notes. It's got tobacco, it has suede leather in here, a lot going on. Really nice and rich. It's a little bit classy as well, so you've got good versatility here for cooler months. Always thought Varvatos Vintage was one of the best buys out there as far as the price at discounters versus the quality of what you get. So gotta put this in here. And I have backup bottles of that just in case. Will I ever need them? No, but it makes me feel better. Take your judgment somewhere else. There we go. Some fragrance blind buys that turned out pretty good. Really like each one of these. Some maybe a little more than others, but not unhappy a bit about any of them. Like I said, maybe in the future, I'll do a video where we do blind buys that turned out poorly, cheap blind buys that turned out poorly, because there's some of those too. All right, guys, let me know in the comments some of your blind buy wins, cheap blind buy wins. Thank you for hanging with me here today. Stay safe out there. See you again tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys later.